starting with plasma protein. So the introduction is plasma protein are the protein which are present in the blood plasma and they are produced by the liver except for immunoglobulins. Now this protein they are produced by the rough endoplasmic reticulum in the hepatocytes. Hepatocyte means liver, and it is exported into the blood via the Golgi complex. Now there are different types of plasma protein. So first is serum albumin. This regulates the osmotic pressure of the blood. Second is serum globulin. It participates in the immune system and also acts as a transport protein. Third is fibrinogen, which is having its role in the clotting of the blood. Then there are low level of other plasma protein which have various function. For example, alpha-1 antitrypsin, which neutralizes digestive trypsin. Now, the serum contains only albumin and globulin. So fibrinogen is absent in serum because it is converted into fibrin during the process of blood clotting. Because of this, the albumin and globulin, they are usually called serum albumin and serum globulin. So major types, so the albumin, it is about 60%, the globulin is about 35%, the fibrinogen is about 4%, and other protein, plasma protein, are about less than 1%. So these are the normal values of the plasma protein. For example, total protein is about 7.3 gram per dl. Serum albumin is about 4.7 gram per dl. Serum globulin is about 2.3 gram per dl. And fibrinogen is about 0.3 gram per dl. Now the ratio between the plasma level of albumin and globulin is called albumin is to globulin ratio. Now it is important indicator for some disease involving the liver or the kidney. So the normal A:G ratio is 2:1. Now the functions of plasma protein, starting with its first function, that is role in coagulation of the blood. The fibrinogen is most essential thing for the coagulation of the blood. Now second is role in defense mechanism of the body. So the gamma globulin, it plays an important role in defense mechanism by acting as the antibodies. Now this protein are also called immunoglobulins. Now this antibody, they react with the antigen of the various microorganisms which causes disease like diphtheria, typhoid, streptococcal infection, mumps, influenza, measles, hepatitis, rubella, polio, etc. Then role in maintenance of osmotic pressure in blood. So the plasma protein, they are colloidal and non-diffusible, and it exerts a colloidal osmotic pressure which helps us to maintain the normal blood volume and the normal content of water and the interstitial fluid and the tissue. Now the albumin content is most important in the regulation of the colloidal osmotic or oncotic pressure. Decrease in the albumin level, it results in the loss of water from the blood and its entry into the interstitial fluid causing edema. Next point is role in regulation of acid-base balance. So since plasma protein, particularly the albumin, it plays an important role in regulating the acid-base balance in the blood. This is because of the virtue of their buffering action. Now the plasma protein are responsible for 15% of the buffering capacity of the blood. Next point is role in viscosity of the blood. What is viscosity? It is the resistance of a fluid to flow, or the consistency, like thin consistency or thick consistency. So the plasma protein provide viscosity to the blood, which is important to maintain the blood pressure. The albumin provides maximum viscosity than the other plasma protein. Next point is role in ESR, that is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. So the globulin and fibrinogen, it accelerate the tendency of the Rolex formation by RBC. Now this Rolex formation is responsible for ESR, which is an important diagnostic and prognostic tool. Starting with the next point, so it has a role in suspension stability of RBC. So during the circulation, the RBC remains suspended uniformly in the blood. Now, this property of RBC is called suspension stability. Now, the globulin and fibrinogen, it helps in the suspension stability of RBC. Now, next point is role in production of triphone substance. Now, triphone substance are necessary for nourishment of tissue cells in culture. This substance are produced by leukocytes from the plasma protein. Next point is role as a reserve protein. So, during fasting, inadequate food intake or inadequate protein intake, the plasma protein are utilized by the body tissue as a large source of energy. This plasma protein, this splits into amino acid by the tissue macrophages. Amino acids are taken back by the blood and distributed throughout the body to form an cellular protein molecules. Because of this, the plasma protein are called the reserve proteins. Last function is transport function. So the plasma protein, they can bind and transport many diverse molecules and serve as a low specificity transport protein, which includes first the metal ions such as calcium, copper, then free fatty acids like albumin. It binds to the free fatty acid released by the adipose tissue and facilitates their transfer to the other tissue. Third is bilirubin. So this protects from the toxic side effects of unconjugated bilirubin. Fourth is bile acids. Now the albumin, it carries the bile acid that are recycled from the intestine to the liver cells in the hepatic portal vein. Last point is hormones such as thyroid hormone and steroid hormone.